I've always considered these BOSE stick PAs to be very delicate, almost invisible, extremely compact and very delicate. So for me to reveal what I revealed out these boxes, bulk after bulk and so much of it. I should explain why I'm seeing wobble in the column of a column PA and saying that it has no wobble. It's a long story. I don't make a habit of wobbling columns of column PAs to find out if they're good or not. I was referring to a previous BOSE purchase that didn't go quite as planned, shall we say. However, this is about the BOSE L1 Pro32 and I'll continue. First thing I must say is that after opening the two boxes that this PA came in, I was surprised at the quantity of the items. This is a very bulky PA. Each of the three main parts of the system are huge, starting off with the subwoofer. I'll admit in a previous statement when I was reviewing the Pro 16, I said that the Sub 2 will be similar size to the Pro 16 subwoofer, therefore there wouldn't be much difference in performance. Hold my hands up, I got that totally wrong. This subwoofer is huge, much bigger than the Pro 16 sub. At first glance, I can tell you that this subwoofer looks very similar in size to the subwoofer of my DB ES1203 and also very similar in size to a QSC K sub. Here's some specs of all three subs for you to ponder over for a while. Nice huge handle on the top. Some factors you need to take into consideration is that those other two subs from DB and QSC, they're both birch. The QSC also has 4 casters and the BOSE sub, I think it's plastic or maybe it's MDF, I'm not quite sure. And the other two subs, they both have 2 drivers. Finish is great, very solid build. The Sub 2 exterior has that black spatter paint finish, which is a very high quality. I love the fact that you got the rotary dial at the rear of the sub so that you can independently cut back and increase the level of sub independently to your base level control. Got the sub match connection to the rear towards the floor, which carries the audio and the power, so you don't need separate power for this. And this sliding cap to the right slides across to reveal the IEC mains input. So you can use this sub independently and connect it up to any other speaker. When switched on, after a period of non-use, the sub goes into a standby mode and the LED pulses. These mounting pegs, prongs that you see on the side, on both sides. One side they're plastic, hard plastic, so you can stack this horizontally, and the other side they're rubber. Pretty good feet on the underside. I didn't quite like the feet that were on the Pro 16. Feet are quite twitchy, not a very sure-footed base. Wrong choice of rubber. These are a slight improvement, but there's a lot more weight here. Remember, this sub weighs more than the whole complete system of the Pro 16. Moving on to the pole, it stands 7 feet from the floor. Both sections all metal construction, each holding 16 drivers each. No J, just straight line, and each column is identical to that of the Pro 16's metal section. Same size, same feel, same material, no doubt, same drivers. Very interesting, as I mentioned in my introduction to the L1 Pro32. The bottom section of the column sits 3 inches into the base. This is what it's all about. It needs to go that deep into anything to be stable. This is where the Pro 16 failed. As I said in the introduction, that was never going to work. And I forgot to mention in the Pro 16 is that column also rocked backwards and forwards slightly. This column, yes, every column PA is going to have some type of movement, some sort of movement, but not excessive. Also, when I power this column up, it's silent. Not a single noise. It's slightly easier to separate these column parts because they're a bit heavier. So you've got the gravity holding the rest of the column down while you pull on the upper part of the column or the lower part of the column out of the base. It's not hassle-free, but it's slightly easier. I'm tempted to stand on the base just to get the bottom part out, but no way. Last but not least, the base. very bulky. Again, it weighs 5.5 kilos. It's 11 centimeters deep, 34 centimeters at its widest point, and 57 centimeters in length. It's huge. I am loving the bulk. In a way, it's telling me this PA can do some damage, and that it's capable and not delicate and fragile. You also get one sub-match cable which is 52 inches long. The sub-match cable is quite straightforward enough to connect up. The grey plug end goes to the grey socket and the black plug end goes to the black socket. You can't mix the two up. It will only connect those ways. Once you power up the bass, you hear the fan cut in, it whirls for a while, and then it cuts back and seems to run on like an idle speed. Rubberized feet at the bottom. This bass has a nice handle incorporated, easy to carry around, and it comes with its own zipped padded carry bag. Both column parts come with their own protective carry bag, just like the Pro 16, just the handles again and no shoulder strap. The sub, oddly enough, comes with its own protective slip cover. Although it's nice to see it's a good fabric and it has the hole cut out for the carry handle, but why isn't it padded like the other carry bags? Bit of a letdown, I'd say. Is this BOSE cheaping out again? What does it sound like? I demoed this PA with many genres of music, but I couldn't do an upload of every single genre. So I decided to pick something that had quite a few instruments in it, was quite musical. It will work for some and not for others. Right. One thing I can say about this PA, I love the size of the sub and I love the weight of the sub because I wanted a sub that could do some damage. And believe me, this PA can do some damage. This PA goes loud. Very impressive. You turn it up, it just keeps on going. So much left in reserve. This is a serious PA. It can perform. And as for that sub, it rumbles and it goes low. It kicks, and does it hit? But I suppose you'd expect that at $3 grand. Anybody who's looking to buy this PA, you will not be disappointed. Its power is effortless. If you've not heard it, you need to demo this. Sorry to put a downer on things, but only problem I can see with this 7-foot giant, only problem with the Pro 32 is that it only has 3 channels. I can hear the BOSE community saying updates and T4S, but if you're a new purchaser of a BOSE system, you don't have a T4S, and that is going to be an extra cost. I think if this system is in the BOSE Grand Prix family and it's likely to be on pole position, this is the leader of the pack. For the price that it costs, it should have more channels on board. Personally, for me, I don't mind that it only has 3 channels. That's fine. But if you think of your singer, songwriter, musician that's in the market for a brand new PA system, there are so many other offerings from different manufacturers with much more spec on board. On board, this only has reverb. Sorry to dampen things, but I'm just putting it out there that in 2021, EV has the Evolve 50M out. That has 8 channels, 4 effects. I think it has reverb, chorus, flange and delay. This BOSE stick system might be best suited to BOSE owners that wish to upgrade. After being on the floor for many hours, it's surprising how much dust, dirt and debris collects on top of this. So it will be good practice to vacuum it out, shake it out, just to make sure that nothing's fallen into the connections. Some sort of cover might help, but the good cleaning regime is good enough. But BOSE, when it comes to your Grand Prix L1 Pro family, this is the only one that's on pole position. And in my eyes, the only winner.